In this video, we are going to see unicellular and multicellular organisms. Children, what you can see, these are all some of the living organisms, isn't it? Are they same? No, they are different. All living organisms may be very different from each other. Let's see some of the living organisms like banyan, sunflower, fish, elephant, human being, etc. All the living organisms are made up of tiny units called cells. This cell is the structural and functional unit of all living organisms. So, cell is the structural and functional unit of all living organisms. It is the basic, structural and functional unit of all living organisms. So, which is the basic structural and functional unit of all living organisms? It is cell. So, all the living organisms are made up of cell. The number of cells in the body of a living organism varies. Some organisms are unicellular. Unicellular means single cell. That is, they have only one cell. Whereas some organisms are multicellular. That is, they have many cells. Let's see elaborately about unicellular organisms. Unicellular organisms, they were the first to arise in evolution. They are the organisms that have only a single cell, and this single cell carries out all the life activities that help the cell to survive on its own. It means that that single cell will do all the functions that is taking place in our living organisms. Some examples of unicellular organisms are amoeba, paramecium and euglena. Let's see about amoeba in detail. Amoeba, it is an unicellular organism that has no definite shape. It lives in both freshwater and seawater. It is a microscopic organism. You know what is meant by microscopic organism? It can be seen only through microscope. It cannot be seen by our naked eye. It can be seen only using microscope. It looks like a blob of jelly but carry out all the important functions like feeding, moving and reproducing. As a single cell, this amoeba will do all the functions like feeding, moving and reproducing. It moves by changing the shape of its body to form a false feet or pseudopodia. So, this amoeba moves with a false foot. So, the pseudopodia is the locomotory organ, that is, it helps to move from one place to another. And coming to the food vacuole, that food vacuole is a small space or a cavity inside a cell that contains air, water and food. While contractile vacuole, they help in excretion. That is, digestion is by food vacuole and excretion is by contractile vacuole. Let us see about paramecium. It is a slipper-shaped unicellular organism found in the aquatic habitat. They move by beating tiny hair-like structures on their bodies called cilia. Yes, so paramecium has a tiny hair-like structure on their bodies called cilia. So cilia is the locomotory organ of paramecium. Next example is euglena. Euglena is another unicellular organism found mainly in fresh water. It has been plant-like and animal-like features. This euglena has both the features of plant as well as the animal features. It lives only in the fresh water. Plant-like feature is it has green colored pigment called chlorophyll. So, plant feature is that this euglena has the green color pigment called chlorophyll to make their own food. It moves with a whip-like structure called a flagellum. This flagella is the locomotory organ of euglena. It is the characteristic feature of animal. So that's why it has both the characters of plant as well as the animal. So the locomotory organ of euglena is flagella. It is the plural of flagella means the plural of flagellum. So children, I hope you would have understood about the unicellular organisms. In the next video, you will be learning about multicellular organisms. So the unicellular organisms example we saw amoeba, paramecium and euglena. So next video tells you about multicellular organisms. Thank you.